A cupcake with bright frosting appears against a white background. It hops forward and gasps as it discovers 3 muffin pans that exactly look like braille cells. 7 more brightly colored cupcakes appear. At the whistled command of the original cupcake, hop into the various muffin holes to form the braille letters TBK. The muffin tins are replaced by the Blind Kitchen logo, green braille letters TBK on a white background. Fade to black.
Hello, and welcome to the Blind Kitchen, where everyone gets a seat at the table. I'm your host, Deborah Erickson, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the spider. The spider that was sent to you by the Blind Kitchen is about 17 inches long with a wooden handle, and it has a 6-inch circular basket that's sort of a cross between a slotted spoon and a strainer. I did some research to find out why this was called a spider, such a strange name, and the most I could come up with is that the metal network of weaving sort of resembles a spider web. So that begs the question, why isn't it called a spider web? Culinary terms can be so misleading, but don't get me started. This spider is adaptive for people with vision loss for several reasons. Right now, let's focus on the handle. The handle is very long. That makes it impossible for this spoon to fall to the bottom underneath the liquids in most standard pots that we use to make potatoes for mashed potatoes or pasta. The other thing about this handle is it's made out of wood, and wood does not conduct heat. So our chances of reaching into the pan and grabbing the handle, it's not going to be hot because it's made of wood. The other thing that is good for is to help us avoiding messes. I've made many messes in my time when I try to make sure that all that spaghetti sauce or all that water is off of a tool, but there's evidence of me transferring it back and forth between my spoon rest or work tray and back to the pot. Because this is made of wood, it can be left in the pot with the food as it cooks for most applications. So there's no need to even do that transfer. Also, the length of the wooden handle allows us to hover above the pot so that we don't have to touch the pot or get involved with the steam to know exactly where the pot is. We can locate the top of the handle. One last thing about the handle. Let's say I'm making mashed potatoes or pasta. So I'm using this tool to scoop some of the chunks of potato out of it to check it to see if it's fork tender. I put my fork in there and so I say, oh, nope, it's not quite done. I need to cook it a few more minutes. I need to return that chunk of potato back to the water to cook more. Now, in the past, when I have dropped especially larger pieces of food back into boiling liquid, it can splash up. We can't see where the water level is. We be as careful as we can, but sometimes you can't see it and a splash happens. Because our fingers are so far up this handle, chances of that splash getting all the way up 17 inches you're gonna have to want to do it to make that happen. Now, the last thing that makes this adaptive is the size of the wire basket. It's 6 inches in diameter. So that way, when I'm fishing for that elusive piece of ravioli to check if it's done, or that elusive chunk of potato or gnocchi, this basket is big enough to guarantee that if I do 1 or 2 swipes, I'm gonna get some of that food that's boiling in that pan on it. And that was a lot harder when I was trying to get it with just a fork or just a slotted spoon. This gives you a much bigger target to fish with. Caring for your spider requires a little bit of thought. The stainless steel part is easy. It's the wood part. In mixed company, you should never talk about politics, religion, money, or whether or not to put your wooden utensils in the dishwasher. You're sure to start a war. So you care for this spider, the wooden handle, in whatever way you see fit. But I put mine in the dishwasher all the time and don't have any problems. So you know where I come down on that side of the war. Thank you for spending time in the Blind Kitchen. I've given you one spider you'll like, but I can't help you with the snakes though. Until next time, happy cooking.
She smiles towards the camera. Fade to black. Blind Kitchen logo appears. Fade to black. Neo Creative Productions logo appears. The logo fades to black.